Well, award season is upon us. We just had the Golden Globes, we've got the Grammys coming up, but obviously the most important awards ceremony of the season is, of course, the Dundies. Okay, maybe not the Dundies. It's actually the Academy Awards, and that's coming up. And a lot of people are speculating what's going to win Best Picture, who's going to win Best Actor, Best Actress. I don't watch award ceremonies at all because basically I have a life. No, because it just doesn't interest me that much. It's a bunch of millionaires filing into a very expensive party to celebrate other millionaires and award other millionaires for pretending to be regular people. It just doesn't resonate with me too much. And I think the last time I watched the Oscars was in 2017, and Jimmy Kimmel was hosting, and he came out with a joke that said, "We don't make films like Call Me By Your Name for money. We make them to upset Mike Pence." That really resonated with me. Why would Call Me By Your Name upset Mike Pence? Well, Mike Pence is a professing Christian. He's very open about that. And Call Me By Your Name is a gay seduction story between a 24-year-old man and a 17-year-old boy. And so a lot of wickedness just in the title and the description of that movie. And so when he says we make films like this, which I consider to be sinful, to upset Mike Pence, who is a Christian, basically he's saying we make films to upset Christians. That doesn't sit well with me, and every time I think about that, I'm drawn back to Romans chapter 1 when Paul is talking about God's anger at sin, and I can't help but think maybe Paul went to the Oscars that year. And something that really stood out to me is verse 31. They refuse to understand, they break their promises, are heartless and have no mercy. They know God's justice requires that those who do these evil things to die, yet they do them anyway. Worse yet, they encourage others to do them too. The Message translation actually says they award prizes to those who do the worst things best. And when I read that in the Message translation, I'm like, oh, it's like this year's Oscars back in 2017 or in 2018 or 2019. Are they going to pick the films and award wickedness, or are they going to celebrate things that are of God? And oftentimes we'll come to entertainment and we'll wonder where to draw the line as Christians. You know, as a worship leader, a lot of people have said to me, you know, hey, maybe trying to impress me or whatever, I only listen to Christian music. I never listen to secular music. And my response to that is, great, what kind of TV shows are you watching? What kind of movies are you spending your money on? Listen to this. Liberties can become liabilities when used too liberally. I'll say it again, it's a tongue tire. Liberties become liabilities when used too liberally. If you're one of those folks that thinks, hey, I can't listen to secular music because it's going to make me stumble, fine, don't do it. But be consistent too. What kind of movies are you watching? Are you watching films like Call Me By Your Name? Are you watching films that were designed to, quote unquote, upset Christians? Or are you living your values? And we can look at the award ceremony season and say, yeah, man, look at all these wicked people awarding awards to those who do the worst things best. But if you read on in chapter 2, verse 1, it says, you may think that you can condemn such people, but you are just as bad. You have no excuse. When you say they are wicked, you should be punished. You are condemning yourself. You judge others, but you do the exact same things. Look, a little golden statue isn't the best award for those who are doing the worst things best. The best award is your time and your money. They are making these films, and if you're putting your money into stuff that compromises your values as a Christian, you're giving them more ability to make even more of that stuff. And so, again, liberties become liabilities when used too liberally. We need to celebrate things that honor God, but we need to deprive things that are not of Him. And so I want to close this Devo by reading you an acceptance speech from that 2017 Oscars, and it was Viola Davis, and she won Best Supporting Actress. And so I just want to read it to you, and then I want to take it, and I want to edit it and put it into my own words. And so here it is. This is Viola Davis, 2017 Supporting Actress winner. You know, there's one place that all the people with the greatest potential are gathered. One place, and that's the graveyard. People ask me all the time, what kind of stories do you want to tell, Viola? I say, exhume those bodies, exhume those stories. The stories of people who dream big and never saw those dreams come to fruition. People who fell in love and lost. I became an artist, and thank God I did. We are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life. Okay, so when I heard those words, it was a little bit alarming, especially that last part. We are the only ones that celebrate what it means to live a life, because basically as an actress, you're pretending to live life for a living. So they're beautiful, but they're misguided. And so I wanted to take those, edit them to let you kind of get a glimpse of how I feel every Sunday at church. You know, there's one place where all the people with the greatest potential are gathered. One place, and that's the church. People ask me all the time, what kind of stories do you want to tell? And I say, study God's Word. Those stories are alive. The stories of people without hope, yet found it. People who fell in love and won. I became a follower of Jesus Christ, and thank God I did, because we are the only people that celebrates what it means to have life, to live. Look, Christians can't become isolated. We need to infiltrate, but we need to be careful how we celebrate what it means to have life, to live. We need to not compromise. We need to not put money and time into things that are going to compromise our faith. Again, liberties become liabilities when used too liberally.